All right, so as promised, I'm going to give you a little red zone work here. So there are plays that work from the 15 that don't work at the 10 and do work at the 5 and don't work at the goal line, like the 1-inch line, for instance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a play that will consistently work from the 15-yard line in, and it's going to give you two options. And you'll see what I mean when I give you a demonstration closer to the goal line, because guys they sit in the middle and they just play that little floating middle linebacker and think they're great because they press triangle and he can jump 2 or 3 different routes because everything's clustered together at the goal line, and he just doesn't have to make only a minimal decision. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with Rams Y out here. It's also your man beater, ironically, but I'm gonna hot route it real quick. All right, so the hot route is gonna consist of Murray running that swing route, or R1, whatever team you choose to use. You're going to run that swing route to the outside now, as to where before he was running some sort of like stall check and release route. And you're going to change Cooper from that rounded out to a just regular out. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the result here. All right, so I'm running this against the cover 3 nickel. I'm sure people are getting tired of seeing the cover 3 nickel, but that's okay. The reason I do it that way is because the cover 3 nickel is actually the hardest one. They're not all the same. So if you run a 3-4, 4-3 or dime or some variation of it, that they might break apart differently sometimes, and you got to find like little nuances. Like maybe instead of running a cross, you got to run a slant or something like that to get the guys open downfield. But what we're trying to accomplish here is to avoid the middle of the field here. Now, we have a middle check down here to the guy on that crossing route, but, it's not really going to work. So he's just a decoy. A couple guys are a decoy. As you can see, the ball's already opened up, and we're going to hit this guy down the seam. So that's great. It's the guy on that, like, skinny post. But if you look over to the opposite side, that guy is wide open on that corner route. So that's what we love. We love having he's just going to run right in the end zone right there, this guy over here. So he's just going to run free into the end zone. So you got 2 guys. He can't cover both guys, even if he's the middle linebacker. They're too far apart, and that safety's going to bite on one. Can he guard one and not the other? Yeah, sure, but they're both of them are open. So the safety's not guarding anybody for him, and neither is the corner to that side. So he's basically got to make a commitment to one side or the other. He can't just sit there. This is the guy they're normally going to be here. And he's screwed. He's in no man's land. So we like that. We have a small check down over here, but we're not interested in check downs right now. The check down is only interesting because it's another thing that you can do if I don't know. I don't even know why you would do it because these 2 guys are running wide open, but all right, so there he is. He gets hit on the outside, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you, even though I don't really need to. I'm gonna show you the opposite side. Okay, so now I'm throwing to the opposite side. I'm throwing to that corner route right there, and if the guy wants to be a jerk, he can hesitate and run the route really horribly, like Crabtree did right there, and then he stops. You know what I mean? But he fell into the end zone anyway, so he did score. But sometimes I don't know why they get funky around the goal line. But clearly one thing you can do to kind of negate that is press square when he catches it, so he kind of catches it on the run, and then he usually won't do that, but I didn't do that time. But that's okay. So the reason that I get a little wordy on these instead of just showing you the play is because I want you to understand why. The most important thing in Madden is to use the Madden physics against itself, okay? It's to manipulate the coverages, okay? So it doesn't really matter if your guy's really fast. It doesn't really, it does, it helps, of course, but you want to use that speed to help break apart the defense differently. So as you can see, look at the running back. The running back is running wide now. Remember, he was on a check release to the right, and we put him on a swing to that left. So now he carries that linebacker with him. Even though he's not an immediate threat, it's a video game. So the video game is going to make the wrong choice sometimes. And that corner, instead of stepping up and covering him on the corner route, ironically, he is going to float back and cover nobody like an idiot for no reason. I mean, granted, he doesn't know the play, but they should still have assignments if it were real life before the game or before the play. So anyway, so it works. There's 2 quick touchdowns, and as you can see, one's to the opposite side of the hash mark, and then one's way on the opposite side of the other hash mark. So guys gonna have difficulty defending it, basically. And we're gonna show you that it works from the 15-yard line in. So, okay. So we're gonna forego, the 10-yard line, the 5-yard line. That's pretty repetitive. And we're just gonna show you that it works from the goal line as well here. So same exact play, same exact setup on that Rams Y out. And as you can see right here, he is open to the back of the end zone here. Now, as I said, most of the time they're gonna be this guy. They're gonna end up probably being at least one of these 2 guys and like float around here. So it's possible for him to jump this route. But he has to know the play is coming. He has to know what play it is, because we're running all of our plays out of the same formation. So I could have just ran the ball up there, you know what I mean? We're at the 1-inch line. So I could have ran the ball, but if you don't want to, you know what I mean? If you don't have any timeouts and you're afraid maybe you'll get stuffed, for a half-yard gain and then lose the game, you got to throw it sometimes. So that guy's obviously open, and as you can see, this guy comes open on the very back of the end zone. That's that same skinny post now. So you still have your same exact 2 options. He can't cover them both. As you can see, we got one here, one here. That's too much ground to cover, and nobody helps him out. Not one of his boys is, covering either one of those guys. So it's just comes down to a read situation. Now this guy's going to come open. He should be your first read. If this guy's floating around here, bam, you come hit him on the back end, because he'll stay open longer. See, he comes open initially. As you can see, he's already open. He's not open yet over here. So you look that read, and then bam, you hit him in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, game winner, and your record improves.